I'm 48 years old. Like, what are you talking? Like, I gotta go get a colonoscopy. Like,
hey, yo.
What do you rap about? You know what I mean? Like, my eyesight is going bad.
If I could talk to my favorite rapper, André 3000, I would tell him.
This nigga's scared.
DIYers.
DIYers. My favorite rapper in the entire world is André 3000. And the thing that I loved the most was how relatable his message was, how relatable it was to me at that age, but also how universal it was no matter what age I was. I got so excited when I saw this news come across my timeline. I said, man, please, my emotions can't take it. I'm in here drinking. My emotions can't take hearing about another André 3000 album that'll never drop. This time, the news was everywhere. It was on every hip-hop blog that you can think of, every hip-hop website. I got so excited, I was ready to share it on my Instagram, share it on everything I got, and then something told me to read the rest of the message. The album that he's releasing is actually fully fluke. There was something that he said in this interview that he had with GQ that really kind of it rubbed me the wrong way, especially being an artist myself and somebody who looks to him as an inspiration.
Are you apprehensive?
Very, very apprehensive.
Do you feel like that played into decisions you made about Outkast?
Just in general, when it came to figuring out what we would do creatively and where my creative juice is coming from within Outkast, like there was a certain point where I just didn't know where else to go. People think, oh man, he's just sitting on raps, or like he's just holding these raps hostage. Like, I ain't got no raps like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them people that was hoping. Every time we saw photos of him and Big Boy saying that they're back at the Stankonia studios, I was sitting there hoping that he was just collecting up songs. And he just expressed right now that, no, I ain't got nothing in the archive. What I got is what y'all got.
It actually sometimes it feels inauthentic for me to rap because I don't have anything to talk about in that way. Like, I'm 48 years old, and not to say that age is a thing that dictates what you rap about, but in a way it does. And like things that happen in my life, like, what are you talking? Like, I gotta go get a colonoscopy.
Hey, yo.
What do you rap about? You know what I mean? Like, my eyesight is going bad.
3 stacks. I just want to hang out with you for an afternoon, man. I feel like sometimes when you find success at a very early age, and this is another reason I just get disgusted with the industry, I think it really takes you for a ride. I think it really drains you. It warps your perspective. If I could talk to my favorite rapper, I would tell him, your voice and perspective is powerful. Your wisdom as an artist at 48 is valuable to me at 38. Your verses were simply an amazing conversation in rhythm and key. If you still have something of value to say, like he is in this interview, you have something of value to rap about. Now, this is in no way an attack on him for not wanting to rap at all. I just want my favorite rapper at this point to be happy. But I know there's more to it, so let's keep on going.
You're not just any rapper, like you're a top 5,
Hello.
To many people. To me, it's like you're basically being like, I have a very beautiful sports car in the garage, but I choose never to drive it, which is your talent.
Talent is one thing, but honestly, I think timing and momentum is more important than talent. Talent, it's a lot of people with talent, and we're seeing that now. Like, there's so many dope people on the internet like that are just raw, but it's your timing, is what you're talking about, is if you're catching the zeitgeist of what's happening in the world. My goal is I want to connect. I'm not talking about none that I can't connect with.
Now, this is something that I can stand as an artist, that you never want to force art because you feel like you have a responsibility to the hip hop culture at large. There's another clip that we got here from Carlos Santana where he's talking about if making music doesn't give you the feels, the goosebumps, you must question why the hell you're doing it.
If you don't give yourself chills, no one else is going to get them either. So you have to learn how to give yourself chills, before you hit that note. And then other people are going to get chills, because if you don't get them, why should anybody? Otherwise you lose them, and then they go somewhere else. It's not volume, it's not loud or anything. It's more like the intensity of your heart.
It's not volume, it's not velocity, it's more about the intensity of your heart. I imagine, just listening to this brother talk here, 3 Stacks, that there's a lot more below the surface he's explaining or even feels comfortable explaining. When you're in so many folks' top 5. I imagine to a certain degree Michael Jordan might have went through this. I look at this and I'm like, everything that he's explaining, I'm like, yeah, that may apply to other people, but you're 3 Stacks. You're André 3000. You are Himothy. So when I hear these things about talent and relevance, I'm like, bro, at this point, you and Alchemist could do an album together. I'm all over it. In this day and age, and just really in the history of marketing, we're never in competition for the best product possible. Some of us as artists are in that competition because we care that much. But the general consumer, they're not concerned about what's the best album possible. They are concerned with the perception, and they have no idea. They've been hypnotized to be concerned with the perception of what is the best.
Yeah, I try all the time. Like, I'm open to producers now, like the young producers, and I get beats all the time. Like, and people send me songs like to get on remixes and stuff like that, but I don't be knowing what to talk about most of the time, you know?
Do you think that's about expectations or lack of self-belief? Like, where do you think that comes from?
Like, I think you're your best and worst critic, and I only work on feeling. Feeling is my only barometer of what I'm doing. Like, I don't feel like I'm the best rapper. I don't feel like I'm the best producer. I don't feel like I'm the best singer. It's just, for me,
but you are.
My gauge is feeling. And that's always been
biased
that
opinion.
way, even within Outkast. If it felt right, it was like, I ain't gonna argue with what it feel like. And if it don't feel right to me, which it hasn't in a while, like when it comes to rapping or vocal, you know, type of music, I don't do it. The song is more important, the music is more important.
I mean this in the most manly way possible, and I shouldn't even have to preface it like that, but I know you pausers are pausing. I just want to give him a big hug. Like, from somebody who genuinely loves his craft, I just want to give bro a hug. Like, nigga, please get out your head. You are one of the greatest. You could literally get to an age where maybe the writing doesn't come as quickly as it once did. Maybe the ideas don't come to you as fluidly. Maybe you're not as excited about it. I get that. Right now, your flute may bring you so much more joy. I get that. But damn it, man. Just want to hug him, bro.
Fun fact, DIYers, there was once a time that I was making beats on a PlayStation 1 on my grandmother's patio. Yeah, shout out to MTV Music Generator. Now, when I think back to those humble beginnings, it is absolutely insane that somehow it led me to working with artists like Kendrick Lamar, Absol, brands like MTV, and Van Skateboarding. And a few years ago, I was asked by a publisher to pour all of those stories, those memories, and hard-learned lessons into this. The Prosperous Hip Hop Producer by Curtis King. If you're curious, it's available on Amazon, Audible, and the Kindle platform. But if you're looking for something with a little bit more of a personal touch, you can get autographed copies directly from me at curtisking.com. If you're a true DIYer like me, then you already know that music is much more than just beats and bars. This is a journey. I love to share my journey with you. The Prosperous Hip Hop Producer, now available.
So here, they're having a segment where the interviewer is asking André 3000 about the first song title on his project.
I swear, I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time.
I would love to make a rap album, but this is what came at this time.
One of the things that's so great about you as a rapper is the directness and the way that you would talk about your life. So when you say yesterday, I don't know what to talk about now, how's that possible?
I was once in the studio with an artist, a younger artist, Tyler Creator, and we were talking about rapping as you're old, and I was kind of telling Tyler, I was like, man, I just don't know what, like, I'd rather write a book or something at this point. Like, I don't know, like, you got to do it. And I was like, why? He was like, because it shows us what we can do when we get to that age.
Man, have whatever opinions you want to have about Tyler the Creator, bro, but he's having conversations behind the scenes with some of our favorites that could possibly bring him back to the forefront. He said that you're giving us hope. Like, why do we still need to be the pioneers in 2023 of what it's like to rap in your 40s successfully, rap in your 50s successfully? Why is that on us? Actually, I made a tweet about that too. Let me see if I can find that one real quick. Every day I'm more disappointed by the way some of the OGs in hip hop view rapping as an art form after they're done with it. My perception of their love for the craft was way, way off. To hear this is almost like I'd rather not hear it, right? Maybe there's a part of me that's like, man, it's a little bit of steam, but this just sounds like somebody who's creatively, at least in the realm of rap, depleted and defeated.
But to make it into a entertaining song to where it's just not self-serving, or it's not just, like, there's a part of entertaining someone else too. I know I joked about, having to go get a colonoscopy and all this kind of stuff. And that's a real thing in my life, but to make that into a song, or
why not?
Like, yeah, of course.
I'm with him. Shit, put that V-neck sweater on me. Nigga, why not? Don't let me ever get a chance to have a conversation with André 3000. Bro, why not? You want to rap about colonoscopies? Somebody about to go in for a run. There is a black man right now terrified of going to go get a colonoscopy. And your song may very well be the reason why he makes it a priority, because you chose to talk about your life at this stage and be honest about it. Nobody's asking for 3 Stacks to be hey ya at 48.
But I got to make it into a song that feels good as a song.
But your track record as making people feel good through song is...
Track record is one thing. The right now is a whole nother. I can't put anything else out in the world if I'm not excited about it, because how can I expect you to
Fair
think,
point.
oh, this is raw, oh, this is fresh, if I don't feel that way? Like that saying with that drug addicts say, they say, well, the longer I'm out of it, the better chances I have of staying out of it. So
That's not what America wants to hear.
I understand, but it feels that way. Like as
I can't do this. I can't do this no more. It's gonna anger me. I respect it. And if you got love for an artist and the human being, like I don't know the human being, but the human being that I've got to know, at least in the public eye, I've grown a respect for. And I appreciate him being transparent, because he can be like every other amazing, talented, quirky artist that just disappears and we never hear from them. But he's choosing to have this conversation. Here's the last thing I want to highlight and then get to some final thoughts.
You've talked in the past about actually having some amount of real social anxiety.
Yeah, it's true. And it never goes away. It's not like a cure-all kind of thing. It just becomes a part of life, and you just have to kind of like take a deep breath, smile a little bit, and just get through it for tomorrow. That's the best I can say, you know.
As someone who has dealt with anxiety, this is where I feel like we're starting to get to a little bit closer to what may actually be actually, I guess, inside of his head, or even discouraging him from going back down this road of creating music, doing the interviews, going on tour. I imagine if you have social anxiety, so many of these things are heading in the opposite direction of what feels comfortable, what feels healthy, what feels like healing. There's nothing really to debate with that. It's just like, if that's how the man feels and he's at peace and his flute is doing that for him, look, as a fan, I have to be able to just be like, fuck that. No, I'm just playing. I gotta be able to be like, as long as you're happy.
Do you think that's something that developed in reaction of fame, or something you always had?
For sure. I think that may have been a trigger, like a traumatic kind of thing, because it's really unnatural to have that much attention as a human, you know, or to have that much expectation as a human. I had to adjust people filming you all the time, or just like coming up to you and that was so weird to me. Like very, very weird to me, and I didn't like it. One thing a therapist told me, he was like, well, son, the thing that makes your art what it is the thing that you don't like either.
I got one final thought about this, because there's a part of me that's like, yeah, bro, you know what, man? Look, bro, find your happiness, bro. Find your happiness. End statement, right? Period. Not quite. Shout out to Tupac. If I could talk to my favorite rapper, André 3000, I would tell him, this nigga's scared. It just feels like he's scared, and it feels like this new world has got him wrapped up, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna just stand on this side. And if it is fear, say that shit. Say it so we know what to prepare for when we get to your age, 3 Stacks, and that's not your responsibility. We'll figure it out. I had a really awesome conversation that kind of set the tone for the content you've been seeing from me for the last few months with an artist named Stevie Crooks. I've talked about him many a times. As I was talking to him, you know what I said to him? I said, bro, it's dawning on me. I've been waiting on my favorite rapper to release an album. And then I started to think, I've literally described the things that I am capable of doing as an artist myself. I am a producer, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, and sometimes I sound country as hell. Shout out to my family that was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And not to say that I am 3 Stacks, I don't need to be anybody's 3 Stacks, but I'm saying that part of me that hungers and starves for what he would have created, that moment of inspiration. You know what I noticed in the middle of that conversation I had with Stevie? I'm waiting on me. And I'm asking you to do the same kind of digging. Are you waiting on an album from a rapper that only releases every 4 or 5 years like Kendrick? Does it frustrate you? I mean, are you excited because you got the new music, but you're frustrated you're not getting it more consistently? Maybe that's on your heart to be the things that you want them to be. But if there's a part of you, I don't give a fuck what age you are, that feels moved to want to create something that you wish one of your favorites would have created, do it. Time's ticking. You have the ability to do it. 3 Stacks, I'm still going to listen to this album, probably going to sample a few of the damn flutes on there, but I just hope at the end of the day, my brother, you are happy. But it would be amazing one day to have a conversation with one of my favorites and just have a heart-to-heart from somebody that is a genuine fan of what you have done and what I know you're capable of doing. Those are my thoughts, though, DIYers. You let me know what you think.
DIY.
DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.